Hey, what's up, everyone? What's up? What's up? Tay Diggs, what's up, man? How you doing? Oh, you are coming in with the questions. All right, cool. I like this. All right, so yeah, today, like I said, I'm going to do a quick Q&A. So let's go ahead and start with Instagram. They're already firing off with the questions. So Marley, you Dave says, "How do you get abs as a woman?" All right, perfect. We could definitely start off with that. So, to get abs as a woman, to be honest with you, there's no difference with a man or a woman. You have to be in a calorie deficit. Okay, simple as that. That means that you have to be burning more calories than what you're consuming. Some people try to complicate it with the sex and try to add in a lot of filler words to attract a particular audience. I'm going to be very honest with you by stating, like, well, men don't understand women because women have hormonal issues. They go through PMS, menopause, all this stuff. But I'm going to be honest with you, like, that's all good stuff to hear. And you might feel a little bit comfortable hearing that from another woman, but when it comes to like simple thermogenesis, it's really just being in a deficit. It doesn't matter if you're a man, woman, what type of hormone issues you have. If you have thyroid conditions, you need to be in a deficit, meaning you have to be burning more calories than what you're consuming. When it comes to hormonal issues and PMS and stuff like that, like different women delegate those type of issues very differently. I have tons of women that I just not help them just lose body fat, but also improve their overall health and wellness. And even got some on stage doing bodybuilding shows. And when it came to PMS, or any type of hormonal changes within their life, it really didn't change the fact on how they lost the weight. We just kept them in the deficit. Now, when it comes down to certain women that crave sweets, we'll be like, yeah, you can have a little bit of extra sweets, but it's not a green card to go out and have a big tub of ice cream and chocolate cookies. Like this is what some women think. By training with another woman, like, oh, like she's a woman, she's gonna have me eat chocolate on when I'm on my PMS and all this stuff. And it's like, nah, like I understand you create the cravings and stuff is real. Like I get it, but at the same time, you have to be in a deficit. So if you need to have a little cheat, have a little cheat, but it has to be more in a controlled environment. That's it. It's only going to last like a couple days, maybe even less than that. Like most women, it's like 1 or 2 days that I delegate that had actual like strong cravings. And it was like 1 or 2 days, and I'm like, 1 or 2 days isn't going to kill you if you had like extra. And what I try to tell them is like, then going straight for the chocolate, how about do strawberries, or make some chocolate milk with soy milk and I show them like get some like 100% cacao powder, put that in there, put some pure in there, pure stevia, blend it, and you have some chocolate milk or something, or make like chocolate ice cream with the milk and with the soy milk, with the cacao powder, with the stevia, freeze it, don't put it in a creamy Ninja Creamy, and it's like you can have that, and it doesn't even feel like you're cheating because it's like it's high in protein, low in carbs, very moderate in fat, and like you can do a big tub and it's less than 100 calories. Like these are like little cheats that we do, or maybe like a strawberry sorbet, like take 144 grams of strawberries, put some pure in there, or frozen strawberries. I meant put some pure in there, a little tab of water, maybe even a little key, like maybe even 1 tablespoon of vegan cream cheese from a Yoko's with a splash of soy milk. Put it in a Vitamix. Boom, you got some sorbet for those cravings. And guess what? No more than 11 grams of carbs. You know what I'm saying? Like again, we figure out ways to help people be successful, but that's it. You know what I mean? So it's something that is like when it comes to women and things like that, it's something that's very easy to do. It doesn't really matter if you're a man or woman. It's what's going to really help you get to that deficit, and that's a calorie deficit if you want to get abs. Okay. And if you need any help, just hit me up in DMs. Type 6-pack, and I'll go ahead and do that for you. Okay. Oh, and talking about abs, if you comment 6-pack for everyone, if you comment down 6-pack in the comment section, I'll go ahead and send you my free ebook. All right. And I'm just typing that in the chat. So if you type in 6-pack, I'll go ahead and send you my free ebook. All right. Let's see. Cody says, is it vegan to sit on a leather couch at a gathering? To be honest with you, it's not even a stupid question. But like, to be honest with you, like there's some people that hold on, we got someone in the chat putting pedophilia stuff in the comments. Let's like ban that guy. We don't deal with that. We don't even joke with that stuff. All right. Just banned that guy. All right. So let's go ahead and answer that question. So like, it's not even a dumb question, to be honest with you, because there is some vegans that's so vegan. They're so vegan that they don't want nothing from a dead animal to touch them. Okay. So by asking that question, technically it depends on the person, right? It really depends on the person, because it's like, for example, if you were let's not even make it a gathering. Let's say if you're jumping in an Uber and has leather car seats, I mean, and you're running late to get on the plane, are you going to get in the car? So it's like, it depends on the person. So in all reality, when we look at vegan, if we just define the word vegan, right? Vegan means someone that doesn't consume any type of animal byproducts, right? That's what it means. But then it can get deeper depending on the person. So certain people are very extreme in that route. I'm not. Like, if there's a leather couch, I'm going to sit on it. I mean, it's not going to bother me. There's some vegans that still have leather clothing, and they're still vegan. It doesn't make them non-vegans. Some people might argue about it, but the thing is, it's like, for example, like when it comes down to veganism, it's like they probably already had it before they went vegan, So it really depends on the person, like how deep they want to like go down the rabbit hole. To be very honest with you, like we have someone say like vegan equals value, yeah, like ethical values, things like that. Like, again, according to the Webster Dictionary, it's about consumption. When you go, and this is one thing, and this is like one thing I disagree with a lot of vegans, because a lot of vegans like to separate plant-based lifestyle and veganism, and they get angry with people, they get angry at other vegans. But I don't get too caught up with the word scramble. I just understand when I'm talking in front of particular audiences, like what to say. But to be honest with you, I don't get too involved with the word scrabble, because I know what I am. I know what I do. I just don't eat animals, and I don't purchase animal byproducts. Like, as simple as that. But like when it comes to word scrabble, and when people are like, vegan is not a diet. Well, it's too hard to say that to people that aren't vegan. And it's very hard to say that when you live in a world of consumerism, right? And everything that is labeled vegan is a food item. This is where that, like, it's like a wall to certain vegans they don't understand. And when it comes to the Webster Dictionary, they don't understand that either. Because they're so fixated on the animal liberation, which I understand. It's a movement. I understand it. But they're so fixated on that they don't like from their point of view. I understand their point of view, but they don't understand from a more broader spectrum, if that makes sense. So it's like you have to be, because it's harder to try to convince someone and correct them in a word versus just the practice. And that's what I'm more focused on. I'm more focused on the practice, not the word. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, and that's how I look at it. Some vegans agree with me. A lot of vegans don't, especially the more of the hardcore activists and stuff like that. But like, I'm more of the practicality. It's like, that's what's more important. So not the labeling and the meaning. It's the practicality. So if I could get someone to move away from an animal-based diet and do more of a plant-based diet, great. You know, that's awesome. You know, but I'm not going to sit there and argue with another vegan about if it's ethical or a diet. I think it's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy, and you're barking up the wrong tree. It's like you're fighting against each other. You know, for what? You know, you like I always say, when you're speaking to people, you need to know how to interchange your words to explain to the audience, because a regular person sees veganism as a diet, and you're not going to change that. It's too hard to change that simple meaning versus just trying to make them do the actual act. Does that make sense? And that's and the reason I think that way, because I was in the military. So when you do things in the military, you do things that matters the most. You focus on things that matters the most. You're not focusing on the small shit. You're focusing on the bigger problems, you know, like things that's actually going to move the needle, things that's actually going to change, not small little like bullshit details. Like, and I feel that's where vegans within the vegan community, they get very lost in. So I know that one simple question kind of unraveled a whole rant, but it's the reality, you know. It's like, because like I said, it's not a stupid question. Even if you were joking, it wasn't even a stupid question, because there's vegans out there that's like, I'm telling you, I've been vegan for 13 years, man. I've been through all of that shit. I've been through the activists. I've been around the hippies. I've been through all the little genres, right? And you just see some shit, man. You see some shit and you hear some stuff. Like, I don't judge them. Like, that's their life. If everyone sit on a vegan chair and just, you know, they don't want to sit on a leather chair, I get it. I see where they're coming from. Like, they don't want the energy of a dead animal touching them. Like, that's what they're going to say. You know, that's what they're going to say. I respect it. You know, that's, you know, you don't know what type of trauma that individual went through, or what they've seen, what they experienced. You know, I went vegan for my own particular reasons. I have my traumas. That's why people don't understand it when I say things like, you know, I went vegan because when I went to war, I saw my comrades die, and I saw the same comrades, how they died like an animal. You know, some people get it, some people don't. Yeah, they're like, how are you comparing Marines dying in war to animals dying in a factory farm? I'm like, if you learned how and my answer is like, dude, if you learn how to make a concentration camp, which you learn in the military, especially during wartime, when you learn how to make a concentration camp, you see the same fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's how I could see it. But you know, all you know is movies and what your friends tell you. And just because you have a friend that was in the military doesn't mean that they were in a combat unit. There's a lot of military personnel that been in the military and even went to war, but never saw a daylight of combat. You know, so even from them, it's not even coming from a great place. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. So yeah, sorry that it kind of unraveled, you know, but like, it's true. What's your opinion on injera and eating teff normally? I don't even know what that is. Yeah, Chen the 20. I don't even know what that is. So I don't know, man. I could try looking it up, but I don't know what that is. Like, if you can explain what injera is, I don't know what injera is. Oh, it's like a bread. Okay. I know, the Ethiopian food. Okay, I see what that is. Let me go back to your question. Okay, so you're talking about Ethiopian food. Well, when it comes to the Ethiopian food, yeah, it's normal. It's 100% plant based. I don't see anything wrong with that. Um, do you do calisthenics? Rich homie, the activist said that. Not really. Not like what you think I do. I'm not like these calisthenic guys, like outside at a park doing the flag and all this stuff. I do basic things like maybe push up, pull ups, leg raises, like simple things like that you do in the gym. Nothing too complex. So I don't really do that. More lifting heavier weights. Uh, Lucas says you are awesome, dude. Yeah, no problem, man. Thank you. You're awesome. I am money conscious. Says, are you still rich as fuck off online coaching? Hua. I mean, I won't be honest with you. My business is a multiple six-figure business, but I won't say I'm rich as fuck. My goals are very big, and when it comes to building a company, it requires more money. So, like, multiple six figures might feel like a lot, but I'm telling you, when you're building a business and you're trying to build a business to help more people as well, like my main focus right now, my main focus right now is when it comes to the people that I help, like that works. Like, so it's not really that I need more emphasis or anything really more to help with the people that I help. It's more on the back end of the employees, the coaches. So right now, my main focus is giving more job opportunities for more coaches so they can be able to utilize my platform to help more people. So that costs more money because you're not trying to pay people cheap. My goal is to pay people salaries. You know what I'm saying? It's because I've been a fitness coach for over 15 years. And I know how hard it is when it comes down to working with, like, I know how hard it is when it comes to being a trainer. You know what I'm saying? It's a very tough industry. Not a lot of fitness trainers make a lot of money. You know what I mean? So when it comes down to this, like, this is something where I want to build a company where trainers have a job, they can do what they love, also as well be able to make money, without like all the things that you need to do to really make money. Because even what I do now, I never saw myself actually running a business. I want to be honest with you. Even though I ran businesses before in the past, like, my first actual business was when I was 7 with a lemonade stand. And then my second legit business as an adult was like a toy store, for kids. So, and that was at the Sawgrass Mills Mall. It was called Fun Toys, so being in the business and just selling things, like, I understand how it is, but I never saw myself actually building a fitness brand. It kind of just happened. Like, I love working out, and a love of working out evolved into getting a degree and certifications in fitness. And then that kind of evolved into building my own business. And all I know is when it comes down to the whole building the business model, at first it was just like, yeah, I like doing what I'm doing. But then you get to a point where you're like, okay, the business is good enough for me, and for my living standards, but the work ethic behind it is way too much. Like, I can't do it by myself, like that. And that's where I'm at. It's like, I can't do it by myself. So now I'm opening up positions for other people to work with me so I can continue focusing, doing things like this, but then also continue providing more value to the people, but also providing more value to other trainers so they don't have to do what I do. Because I even seen trainers who wants to do what I do, and they get burned out because they're not built for business. And it's like some people are just not built for it. And anyone could be an entrepreneur, but some people are just not built for it because it's a lot of sacrifice. Like, you sacrifice, man, majority of my life is in this office, gym and office. Like, it's not very exciting in what you see. Like that's the reality. The reality is what you see online is only highlights, but majority of the time is a lot of work by yourself. You know, just coming up with ideas, a lot of creation, a lot of frustration. Because business isn't always up. It's like this. It's like, oh, it's like that, man. It goes crazy. Up, down, left, right, side to side, stressful days, good days, it's insane. And you have to have a very, you have to have a strong, you have what we say, like a strong, some tough skin to be in this game, and a drive that you never give up. And then as well, just a good purpose. Like you have to have a really strong purpose, because without the purpose, it's not going to keep you driving. And this is another reason why a lot of entrepreneurs fail, because they give up. It's their purpose. They lose their purpose, And with me, I just been in the military, and that's why the military played such a great role in my life, because for me, when I put my mind on something, I just create a big purpose. And that's what I had to do, is like, because there's times I was like, man, I don't even know if I should be doing this anymore. But I just create new purposes, and that's my purpose. Like my purpose is like, I want to provide jobs for other trainers so they don't have to go through the same shit I go through. They can just work at a place and, have the freedom to have a good work and lifestyle balance, and be able to do what they truly love without the stress of marketing and selling people and, handling objections and people saying no. You know how many times people say no in my face, man? It's tough. Sales calls and stuff. You know how hard it is when you see people in the comment section always talking negative about you. It's tough, man. Right now I have over like on Instagram alone, like 137,000. You think everyone's nice? It's like you have to have tough skin, and you have to just keep going and ignoring the hate. Even there was some guy, I had to literally banned him from the chat. I don't even know how you're getting in here in the YouTube chat 3 times talking about crazy things. Like this is the stuff you go through. You know what I mean? And I'd rather open up jobs and positions so people who can't handle that negativity, and they can just like, log on their computer and just only work with people that wants to work with them. And it's like a very good, peaceful, zen, environment, and be able to live a good life and provide for their kids. Like that's what I'm here for, is for them. So for them, I mean, obviously for the clients as well, help them get to their goals. But like I said, like the plans work. So it's like, for me, it's not like I don't have to provide more value. It's solidified that it works. You know what I mean? It's solidified. So hopefully that answered your question, but good question. You take any supplements? Yeah. You see all the supplements in the back? Of course. I take Subblock 80. I take BCAAs, ahi flower oils, pre-workouts. What else? Vitamin D3, elderberry gummies, iron gummies, sea moss, true sea moss, and like Tribulus and something else. I think that's pretty much it. But I do take supplements. But I don't take supplements to survive. I take supplements for optimization. I was always taking supplements, like even when I was eating meat, I was taking supplements. So, I always say, like, if I was eating meat, taking supplements, no one would say anything. But once I'm vegan and take supplements, everyone's a nutritionist and they want to cry a river. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, look at that vegan taking supplements. MPOC. Yeah. Look for talking to you again. Yep. See you. Creepers Cosmic. A good example would be someone working in a restaurant that serves animal products. Maybe you're talking about like the whole seat thing. Let's see. How would I like to know? Can I eat? Oh, this was a good one. This is by Erkin Dung. He says, "Hi, I would like to know if I can eat mousse with silken tofu with stevia erythritol blend if I am trying to reduce weight." Yeah, of course. Yeah, like I actually have a mousse recipe in my cookbook. All right, it's in my cookbook, and I think I don't know if I'm using silk tofu. I know you could use it, but in my recipe, I use vegan protein. You could use silk tofu, but in my recipe, this one has about 23 grams of protein, 17 grams of fat, 21 grams of 17 grams of carbs, 21 grams of fat. But in mine, I'm using like tofu. I'm using protein powder and an avocado with cacao, with a little bit of sea salt, a quarter cup of unsweetened almond milk, and you can always change that up to soy milk, and with 2 tablespoons of the stevia erythritol blend, with a splash of maple syrup. You can use calorie-free one, and a tablespoon of vanilla extract. So in mine, that's what I'm using. But you could definitely swap out the vegan protein powder and use the silk tofu, and maybe remove the avocado, and then just try that and see how it turns out. But from just my culinary mind, I feel that you could just take out the protein powder and the avocado, because that's a protein and a fat. And since the silk tofu is protein and fat, it should be fine with that, and just mix all the other ingredients together. It should work. But when it comes to reducing weight, as long as you're in a calorie deficit, you should definitely be fine. So I highly recommend using MyFitnessPal. So, and then create your recipe, and then put in all the ingredients and add that into MyFitnessPal to make sure you're still within your total caloric intake, so you stay in that deficit. That's the best way of doing it, because you could technically eat anything and lose weight, literally. And when I say anything, I mean anything. Like, you could go to McDonald's and get a Big Mac and fries and the Diet Coke. As long as you stay in a deficit, you'll lose weight. That's the reality. Is it the best foods to lose weight with? No. But like, if you're very strict in a deficit, yes, you can lose weight. So it's just one of those things. It's not the best foods, but you could do it as long as you stay in the deficit. But if you want a copy of the cookbook, go ahead and comment cookbook. All right. I'll put that in the chat. Go ahead and comment cookbook to get it. Son Yu said, "What's the best vegan meal prep?" The one that you love the most. Like, I don't know how to explain that one. The one that you love the most, man. And then Erkin Dung says, "One more question. I am not hungry during morning. Is it okay to just have a protein drink for breakfast?" Yeah. You can have a protein shake. Again, as long as you're putting in MyFitnessPal and you're making sure you're in the deficit, that's totally fine. Creepers Cosmin says, "Christspiracy in no way proves Jesus was vegan or vegetarian. You have vegans using Christspiracy and proving Christianity is vegan and not the Bible." I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, Creepers Cosmic. I'm the last guy you want to be speaking to about like religion and veganism. I mean, I always say this, man. It like, we always want to use like things to prove something, right? Like, we want to use the Bible and use religion to back up our claims. And I'm not trying to say you can't believe in God or Jesus and stuff like that, but I always say, like, and even I think even how they said it in Christianity, well, in not Christianity, in Christspiracy, how would Jesus kill an animal? You know, like once you try to answer that, like it's very difficult, because even the priests couldn't even answer that. You know, and they refused. They walked out because they knew it was on film and they didn't know how to even take it. So I say always do that. And number two is like, look, man, like you might think that, and if you want to use that as justifications, like you do what you want. But the reality about proving if Jesus was vegan or not is not, the whole point of the movie wasn't really based on that. It was more based on how the religion uses the justifications to consume animals because certain scripture says it. And they're going deeper using the Bible to disprove that there's multiple messages in the Bible that disciples were vegan or vegetarian. They were on a plant-based diet. So you have one part of the book saying they were on a plant-based diet, another part of the book saying that it's okay to eat animals. But what you have to understand is that you have to kind of come to common ground and common sense. You know, you're looking at a book before factory farming ever even came into play, right? So this is where common sense just comes into play. Then using a book that's like billions of years old, right? Like just use common sense. Back then, they weren't doing forced impregnation. There weren't factory farms. People weren't like beating up a bunch of animals. And if you kind of think about it, even with the regions of where the Bible is from, like they wouldn't even have the meat wouldn't be such a, it's not being consumed at a rate back then as it is now, you know? So even if there was permission to consume animal byproducts, right? Like the rate of how they were doing it back then versus how we're doing it now is two completely different things. So sometimes you have to just put inside type of common sense when it comes to ethical practices. And then the biggest thing that all vegans is going to say is that it's easier to speak when you're not the victim. You know what I'm saying? So if you came into this world as a cow, chicken, fish, or what is it? A cow, pig, fish, chicken, whatever, one of those farm animals, you know what I mean? Like you will wish there was a vegan speaking on behalf of your life. You know, you wouldn't be asking for a meat eater to talk on your behalf. You'd be praying to God for a vegan. So that's my case, man. That's my case. Case closed. All right. So that's all I have to say about that. Because when it comes to the ethical thing, you know, it's like, and people kind of debate me with it. I just get like that. I just get very cold and very blunt, and that's it. And I don't want to hear anything else. Like, I respect you if you eat meat or whatever, but like, you know, if you want to debate, I'm just going to say what I'm going to say, and that's it. Because it's not like, you're not going to change my mind. You know what I'm saying? You're not. Like, you're just not. It's impossible. When my mind is fixed on something, I'm a hard nut to crack. Like, you're not going to crack it. And you're talking to someone too who used to eat meat. You know what I mean? So it's not like I was born vegan and I'm just coming on my high horse talking shit to people. Like, I used to consume meat, and I know how, like, and I used to consume meat, and I know how it is, and I know the pleasures and the taste of it. But once I saw how animals are being treated, like, my last thought in my mind was finding an ethical farm. Like it's crazy. And the reason is because, like, first, I'm Black. I learned about Black history. I learned about Black history and slavery. So to me, I'm like, would it be better if there was ethical slavery? Like, come on, man. Like, it's just like there's no gray area in pain and suffering. That's what I'm getting at with the whole slavery thing. There's no gray area for pain and suffering. You know what I mean? So when it comes to my personal values, like, that's how I look at it. When it comes to my job and stuff, I can't convince people to go vegan. Only thing I could do is help people out. And I can't like, I mean, I can like be just a straight asshole and just like, I'm not training no one's vegan. And there's people like that, you know, but I'm not like that. I'm willing to help anyone that's wherever level they're at in their journey to help them be able to reduce or get off animal-based products. And through how I do things, that's how people that's why people like me. That's why people like working with me, because I don't judge. Like, they understand my views, they understand it's strong, but they notice that, like, yeah, I don't offend people. I don't just talk down on them. I don't look at them inferior because of my dietary food choices. They respect it, and I say it in the most respectful way. But when it comes to debating, like, that's where you're going to really hear it. Like, I won't just go off on you and be like, look, man, because the debate, you're coming to me saying, like, trying to convince me about something. And I'm like, nah, man, you're like, don't talk to me. You have a better chance talking to this wall than talking to me. Okay. You're just, only thing you're going to get back is like straight facts. I'm just going to hit you hard with them. And I'm just going to be like, what do you think? If you were born as a chicken, cow, or a fish, I mean, like, what would you do? Would you just be like, yeah, sacrifice me, kill me, beat me up, put prongs in my head and put a hook in my, yeah, I love that shit. I like fetishes like that. Yeah, throw a bunch of hooks in my mouth. Yeah, come on, man. Like, there's no gray line in suffering and pain. And you're talking to a guy who was in war, and there's no gray line. Like, I'm telling you, there's zero gray line. Like, everyone that was participated in the war. And when I talk about war, I'm not just saying it as a Marine, as a combat hero. When I talk about war, I'm talking about everybody that participated in it. Good guys, bad guys, and the people in between, which is the civilians. Everybody suffered, everybody. Because with the bad guys, or in quote bad guys, I like saying that, bad guys, they're defending on they were fighting from their beliefs and their standpoints. I'm fighting from my beliefs and my standpoints. And then you have the civilians who's in between, and they can't even get out of the conflict. They're just stuck in it. You know what I'm saying? So everybody suffers no matter what. And everybody who's in war are doing it for particular reasons. Like, for me, I was there for experience, for school. Yeah, I wanted to protect my country and stuff, but like, it wasn't like I was all gung-ho about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't all gung-ho, like, yeah, let's kick some ass. Like, I wasn't super gung-ho about it. Like, especially once you hit boots on ground and you get your first attack, you realize it's not a fucking video game. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not Call of Duty anymore. We're not in Call of Duty. Like, once you get your first attack, your buttholes get real tight, and you get a rude awakening, and you realize this shit ain't a game. One mistake, I'm fucked. And that's your first instinct. And then when you leave, can I mentally get the war out of my head? This is where I found a lot of my friends at. They're out of war, but the war is still in their head, because you suffer a lot of pain in here, because a human mind is not built for that type of violence for a long extended period of time. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. So like, when it comes to the whole vegan stuff, like, that's why it's too hard to convince me, because it's too many things that's tied to just animal ethics. It's too many things. It's pain and suffering. That's where it really boils down to. It's not even about the animals. It's the pain and suffering and the experience that life being has to go through. You know what I'm saying? And I've been through it. And majority of everyone here hasn't been through it. It's different types, but nothing compared to me. And the only people that knows where I'm coming from is other military personnel who actually had boots on ground, been in combat, or like some person who like Joey Carstrong. Like, I like using him as a prime example. He used to be a gangster, so his war was just street wars. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I've heard his story like firsthand. We talked when we were in Veganville, and that's what I saw from him. I was like, man, he came from a different war. That was the streets. He was a gang member, man. That was the streets. And that's a whole nother topic right there. You know what I'm saying? At least I get paid for what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, when I heard his story, I'm like, damn, like, that's deep stuff. He went through some deep shit, and it's the same thing with him. It's the pain and suffering. It's the fear. You know what I'm saying? that's like the core of his energy is the fear, the pain, the suffering. It's the fear, like it's the animals, but it's what's within it, what's generating. It's the fear, the pain, the suffering, and that's how we kind of matched up. Like we're like, yeah, we understood each other. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully that makes sense. Let's see. Let's see. Tamar said, I had someone tell me killing an animal to eat them versus being a pest is completely different. I didn't even realize that was a thought someone could have. We're all different and need to respect. Let's see. Just looking at some of the stuff. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Creepers Cosmic said that's an interesting way to look at it regarding conspiracy. Yeah, man. Yeah, no doubt. There's a lot of chit chat in here. Creepers Cosmic said people that work in slaughterhouses have said the same thing you're saying. Wouldn't be surprised if they went vegan as well. Man, I'll tell you this: when I was in Veganville, we actually in the UK in Cardiff, and we did that film. We had I actually talked to a couple slaughterhouse workers because in Cardiff, it's known for its farming territory. It's known especially for lamb meat, right? So we talked to a few slaughterhouse workers that actually went vegan, like, and they when they told us their stories, man, it's hard to hear because it's like some of them said like, man, I worked there for 2 days and I quit. Some of them say I worked there for one week and I quit. I had another guy say I worked there for a year and just couldn't take it anymore and I quit. You know, like, and it's all trauma. You know, like I said, like the human mind is not built. Like we could watch a movie or something. I mean, even me, I could play a video game and kill 1,000 people. I could play GTA and do a whole bunch of crazy stuff and shoot people in the head and hit people with cars. But I know it's fake. You know what I'm saying? It's fake. Like I'm not hurting no one in the process. But when it's like real, it's different because you know, like we have someone called I think it's called mirror cognitive. Someone correct me if I'm saying it wrong. I could be I know I'm saying it wrong, but like what it is almost like, you ever seen a movie where something like something more real, like, or like a more realistic movie, not anime or graphics or CGI stuff, but like when you watch a movie and something like something crazy happens, like or maybe like those a better example is, you know, those videos like people get like messed up, like they make a mistake, like they slip and fall, like accident videos. But you ever seen a video where someone like really, like maybe they like were doing something pretty cool, and like I think a better example is like a sport, like you see your favorite football player running down the field, someone cracked them real hard, and then you literally saw the dude in slow motion like break his knee, goes inside out, like it goes like inwards and tears up his whole ACL, destroys his knee, and everyone's like, that feeling, like and then, like some people even holding their knees, like and this is called like a mirror reflection, right? We all have this, and we have this even happens when we see a bunch of animals dying all the time. Same thing with war guys, like they see this all the time. Like at first it's not bothering them. I mean, we're trained, but it's like after a while it starts building up and building up and building up and building up and building up. It just, and it's only so much that concrete mind can handle so much pain and violence. And after a while, it starts consuming you. You know what I'm saying? And it can work in both ways because we have a fight and flight response. Sometimes people will get the fight response with more aggression, right? The flight response is drugs, ODing, depression. See what I'm saying? So people are going to respond differently. And that's the same thing with the slaughterhouse. Like they're either getting depressed and doing more drugs to try to get rid of it, or they're going to become more what? Aggressive, right? And they're doing some crazy statistic shit, right? So because we're not built for that type of stuff. You know, we're not built for that, especially to see it every single day. And I always use that as an example too. Sometimes in my presentations, I was like, for someone who's in the military and fought in war and stuff like that, like I saw the reality once I saw the difference between animals and living beings. You know, like that was enough for me. I mean, imagine a slaughterhouse worker. When people, even in the comment section, even right now, people in the comment section saying like steak is good, you know, being a fucking asshole, you know what I mean? But if you actually worked in a slaughterhouse and did the dirty works and you were slicing a cow's throat day in, day out, 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, every single day, minimum wage, right? You're not, these guys aren't getting paid the best, getting minimum wage. Like, I wonder if you're going to continue to start writing stupid shit like steak tastes great. I wonder how you mentally be, you know? Like, I really wonder that. I really ponder that sometimes. And that's why I feel like a lot of people who eat meat, they should be required to go to a slaughterhouse. Just how certain countries, it's like you have to go to the military for 2 years to serve for your country. I feel like that should be a rule for people who eat meat. You know, like you should know where you get your shit from, and you should see how the process goes, and then see if it's something that you want to see. Because everyone is filled up with a lot of nonsense online, right? That you see from your favorite influencers just because they're jacked up on steroids and they're eating a bunch of shit, trying to convince you that it's good for you, you know? And I'm not saying that it's not, but not like not if your whole diet consists of only one particular macronutrient, which is protein, and you're only eating one particular piece of meat or organs all day for the rest of your life. It's not healthy. And if you're doing that every single day, preparing your own meat, I'm telling you, majority of people would go vegan and vegetarian. They wouldn't have the guts and the conscience to be able to do that every single day, you know, especially from a factory farm level. I'm not talking about a hunter. You know, a hunter is different than a slaughterhouse worker. Because a hunter and hunters I'm talking about is the ones that hunt for the meat. They're done for the year, and that's it. All right. I have more respect for those guys than an actual slaughterhouse worker, because a slaughterhouse worker, like, they're there slicing and dicing every day through multiple animals, and they're not going to be able to handle it. A hunter could, because like they're not doing that so many times. But the slaughterhouse worker, they get messed up. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely feel that. And I even feel some people like should go on a hunting trip too and see how that works, and see if you would continue to eat meat, because some people got what it takes to hunt. I mean, that's why you have hunters. But then a lot of people don't. You know, like they're like, you want me to do what? I want you to shoot that deer. Oh, okay. That's probably like the easiest part. Then after that, dragging that dead body, cutting it up, slicing it up, taking off the horns, the skin. A lot of people don't got the guts to do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my thought. You know what I mean? Let's see. Erkton said, I wish everyone went plant-based. Vegan life is the best. No regrets killing animals and making our body a tomb. Exactly. Shirtless test churches and grocery stores. All right, let me see what's up with YouTube. I think I'm done with the Instagram. Like, a lot of people are just chatting now. So let's go ahead and just chat over here. What do you think about one meal a day? When it comes to one meal, I think it really based on the individual. So if you can do it, great. There's definitely tons of benefits of doing it. You get a lot of autophagy benefits from fasting like that, eating one day, one time a day. Um, and I think it's probably one of the best things to do for your digestive system and overall health. But for some people, they just can't. Like I'm the one that I can't do all my meals in one day. It's very hard, and for me, what I like to do is be able to end my eating times at 3. Like I've gotten there one time. Well, there was a time in my life where I was doing that, but then it's just so hard to get that because there's a lot of things I need to do to fix. First, I need to really handle my stress levels, right? I'm usually stressed a lot. So handling my stress has to be priority. Number two, fixing my sleep schedule again and really getting part back into 7, 8 hours of sleep on a consistent basis. Because that helps with the stress and also helps with the eating factors. Because when it comes to eating, like I get the best sleep if I stop eating at 3. But because I work and like right now I'm even doing this, it's like if the longer I stay up, especially anything time after 9, I get hungry again. So that's why I try to go straight to bed like around 8, 9 ish. I try not to stay up like 10 or 11 because once I'm getting to that range of night, that's when snacking Corinne comes into play, and I like keeping that person in the cage. So it's like because the snack Corinne just makes bad decisions. He just wants to eat just shit, right? So it's like, oh, like let me have a couple of some oats or a cookie or something like that. The small start snacking on shit. So for me to do one meal a day, I think it'd be awesome if I could get there and just work on those habits and have more balance in my life and stress and everything. But I think it's fine if you're able to do it and you have the environment to be able to do that type of stuff. I think it's totally fine. Um, Animal World or Different Future for Life. Yeah, got it. Let's see. Do more vegan police skits and build a brand. Um, we're waiting. We actually did another vegan police skit because I knew a lot of people were asking about it, and it's been a long time since I ever did one. So I actually did one a couple weeks back, actually. So I'm just waiting for my team to finish editing it and post it. So now it's just waiting for that because once I want to see how this one goes before I make the other one. So if I see this one does pretty well, then I'll make some more because that's how with the vegan police because they're skits. I like to see how they perform first, and like when y'all were seeing like one after another, and they were coming out almost like every other week or every at least once a month by average. It's because we were seeing the results of it, and then we were just getting like really good ideas. And then kind of drifted off of that and started doing more serious stuff. But I am coming back to the vegan police and also just not even just vegan police. I'm going to come up with some other skits as well, doing some collaborations that with other vegan companies and stuff. So that's going to be cool too, and hopefully that comes out pretty well. We're kind of taking ideas from the vegan police and just applying it to different brands that I'm working with, but yeah, like hopefully this vegan police the next one comes out good and funny. I'm hope crossing my fingers. I thought it was funny when I had a lot of fun making it, but I just hope y'all enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but just stay tuned. It should be coming out soon. Like I said, I already filmed it about 2 weeks ago. So now I think even 3 weeks ago. And now it's just the team to make it. So yeah, you'll get it soon. Does testosterone work? I mean, from my knowledge, I mean, I don't have no. I won't be honest with you. I don't have any in-depth knowledge about it, but from what I've heard, yeah, you know. But the thing is this: there's a lot of natural testosterone supplements out there that helps. So, like I just don't take that because I take other things. I take like Tribulus and the cell block 80. So that's why I don't really jump on the other stuff, because it's like, I mean, how much shit do I need? Like, so it's like I don't need to be taking every male hormone natural supplement that's out there. Like, I don't need that much. I just need something to optimize it. So I think so, like, because you have that, you have the Funu Greek or something like that. You have that one. I've taken that. To be honest with you, out of all of them, I think the ones that actually felt a difference, and maybe it could be placebo because it was a long time since I took it, was horny goat weed. So horny goat weed with some ashwagandha. Me personally, I think I felt the difference, but I haven't taken horny goat weed for years. Like, and this is when I was like a lot younger. So it could have been straight placebo. And when you're like early 20s and stuff, like your hormones are just on a totally another level. So it's like it could have been straight placebo. But I mean, but these are things that work, so I wouldn't doubt it. You know what I mean? GOL, gym, office, lonely. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Black Queen Genius says my brother still has the war in his head. See, exactly. This is exactly what I was talking about. Yeah, he went through four tours. Jesus Christ, 2 tours in Afghanistan, 2 tours in Iraq. Wow. Yeah. 4. 2 is already enough. 4, yeah, I can only imagine. And I'm not even joking. I can only imagine, because two is like, and this is coming from someone from the military. Like 2 is literally like the limit for most guys. 4, whoo, man, yeah, he's going through it for sure. All the men in my family have seen combat, and I get the aftermath. Wow. Okay. Uriel says, good afternoon. Where get the cookbook? See if this is here. I think if you go to that link that I posted, it would take you there. Let me double check. I don't think it's the right link, but let me see. I don't even know what I posted. So let me see the link. Cookbook. All right, let me repost that. I don't think this link is even a good link. There we go. Yeah, I posted a link in the chat. So that's where you get the cookbook. Oh, this is good. Roger says, rumor says you can get all the essential nutrients from a carnivore diet, but not from a vegan diet alone. I mean, you don't even have to listen to the rumors. This is where I always say, do your own research. So one easy thing you can do, if you're someone who's just interested in a carnivore diet, is just get Chronometer, and then start recording like all the meat you're eating on a carnivore diet, and see if you get it. And if you're talking about the carnivore diet where you're just only eating meat and organs, do that and see if you are. And then if you notice that certain vitamins and minerals are missing, you just answer your own question. Because, and I feel that's the thing, like everyone wants to listen to everybody, but no one wants to actually do their own due diligence, and that's why I always preach about tracking. And you have guys out there who's on a carnivore diet who's telling you like counting macros is bullshit. Don't pay attention to that stuff. There's a reason why they're telling you that, because they don't want you to find out the fucking truth. It's as simple as that. They're telling you it's bullshit and telling you all the reasons why behind it, but the reason behind it is not to make it obsessed of keeping track. It's so you can learn about how you can get your vitamins and minerals on any particular diet you're on, to make sure. So if you're not tracking and like, guess what? You're just going to believe whatever Kool-Aid they serve you, and that's it. Because you don't want to take the due diligence to track what you're eating for a week and make sure if what people are telling you online is true. That's number one. So that's why even when people work with me, we use MyFitnessPal. I literally had a client, I had a prospect who was asking me, was about to join my program, and was asking me about, like, how do you make sure I'm getting all the proper nutrients that I need? And I was like, because we use MyFitnessPal and we build the meals with MyFitnessPal, and then we provide it to you. And then you just copy and paste and do what we tell you to do. That's how. I mean, I kind of said it, like, I said it in a more proper way, but pretty much that's what I meant. It's like everything we give you, you're able to backtrack it because we're telling you to follow the plan that we give you. And then you do the same thing how we programmed you, so you can see that you're actually getting the benefits. So it's not just me just saying, believe me, like, yeah, hypernourish your body. I say that shit in my content and stuff all the time. But when you actually work with me, like, I'm not just saying things to say things. You're actually doing the work so you can see that everything I'm saying you're actually getting, because the proof is right there. Like, you're putting it in yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're seeing the data, how it spits out yourself. So when you see, like, okay, I put it in Corinne's meal plan or Body HD fitness program with his coaches, whatever, and I'm doing everything they're telling me to do, you could backtrack and fact check everything, because the diary is going to tell you all the vitamins and minerals that you're getting. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. And even when we create the grocery list, so people don't get, because I really double check everything I do, so people don't get misconstrued with anything. We even put in the products, like the if we're putting in products for protein, like I put it, like, I don't just put like extra firm tofu. I'll put the actual brand. I'll be like Wildwood extra firm tofu. If I put soy milk, I put Silk soy milk, because not every soy milk is what? Not every soy milk has added fortified ingredients. So if someone says, like, I don't see I'm getting my B12s, in my diet. Like, you said you could get B12 without using nutritional yeast. I would say, right, you're right. You can get all your vitamin B12 without nutritional yeast. Where are you trying to get to? Well, when I'm plugging all the meals in, I don't see it. I'll be going to look through your meals, see what you plugged in, and I see that you're not using Silk milk and you use some other brand that doesn't have fortified ingredients. I want to be like, there's your answer. You're using a soy milk that doesn't have fortified ingredients. The soy milk that I use and that I put on my meal plan is called Silk. So what you want to do is if you can't find Silk in your country or in your grocery store, find a brand that has fortified ingredients and look for B12 and iron and calcium. These are some of the ingredients that you want to look for, and get that milk and then incorporate it into your diet, and then it should be good. You know what I'm saying? That's how we are in Body HD Fitness. Because we're not here to set people up for failure. We're here to set people up for success and actually learn how to do their own due diligence, so it blocks out the noise from all the bullshit online. Because when you're actually doing it, you learn how to do it. We teach you the due diligence to learn how to do things properly. It doesn't even matter what people say anymore, because you don't care. You know the truth. You know everything I know. You know what I'm saying? So you know the truth. Now it's just based on, do you want to continue on a plant-based diet, or you want to take that knowledge and start, like, consuming animals? But even if you do that, like, the truth. Even you went carnivore, the truth. Like, you're going to know, like, yeah, carnivore diet lacks vitamin C. Like, you're just going to know that. You're not going to listen to someone like, yeah, you can get vitamin C from this particular organ. No, you can't. There's no animal part that you can get vitamin C with. But you wouldn't know that unless you tracked. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to certain vitamins and minerals, like vitamin A, you're only getting vitamin A from liver, man. And if you know what where the liver is used for, it's a filtration system for the body. I mean, do you think it's like the healthiest thing to eat? That's up to you. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at things. I'm not eating no liver. I'm not eating a filter. Are you kidding me? But like some people enjoy it and think it's a delicacy. That's up to them. I'd rather eat an apple to get my vitamin. It's sweeter and tastes great. Let's see. All right. So with that said, that's enough with my rant. Definitely a great chat today. So with that said, I'm going to try chime back on in the mornings. So in the mornings, I'm on just Instagram Live right now because I like the format for Instagram. And I feel like the people on Instagram in the evenings get kind of screwed with the StreamYard because they just see this small little screen and everything else is blurred out. So I like going on my Instagram Lives because they can see a full screen versus everyone on YouTube. Y'all see a full screen because you're either on your phone or you're on your computer watching this. So that's why I go back and forth. But I'm starting off to come on lives twice a day. So if y'all have any questions, concerns, whatever, definitely let me know. Write them down. Wait for them to come through. But again, the mornings, I haven't have a set time yet. But for the evenings, I'm usually on somewhere around 6 or 7. It really depends on work. But usually in the evenings, but around 6, 7, I want to be on. But with that said, I'll go ahead and let y'all go. And I'll talk to y'all soon. And yes, there's no fiber in the carnivore diet either. So I'll tell you soon. Peace.